Thursday, January 12th edition of the real KNC. Ken Laird.
Chris Curtis.
Candyman Thursday.
Candyman.
So the Candyman held his own today. Got a favorable review from Kirk and Jerry after the program. Both the guys acknowledged there are moments when Candy gets a little bit of the deer in headlights look.
I agree. There are certain times where the show will venture into areas that the Candyman is a little uncomfortable with. Not that he doesn't want to talk about it, but it just is out of his comfort zone as a radio host. And he'll sort of sit there and not be ready to go quickly like Kirk is always ready to go with a quick one-liner or something glib. But I thought he did well today. Aced his Dino tweet test.
Yes.
Now, a Dino tweet. When Lango beats your ass, the Jets have surrendered. Only an injury could be a boner shrinker now, Billy boy.
What?
Is RK doing a good job, Ken?
You agreed with me.
The Dino tweet. No, I didn't. I said you're too hard on him.
That's false.
I agree that Arkan screwed it up, but you shouldn't have called him out on it.
Which, then Kirk, sold me out on the air. He totally agreed with my take.
Low-hanging Laird.
It's low fruit, and you pick it better than anybody else, Jerry.
Candyman, I think, acknowledged it was a foible. He stepped on the touchdown call a little bit.
I didn't realize I didn't do anything wrong, is the thing.
No, you were trying.
I heard
what are you talking about?
In the after show
Ken's
podcast.
problem on the post-show podcast was that Arkan spoke too quick after the Dino tweet. We sort of give it a minute to breathe, and we kind of laugh, and he stepped on it, which he did, but it's
really...
People are very sensitive to anything we say on this podcast.
Oh, those guys are so sensitive.
Trenny is always sensitive. Arkan walks into the control room right after the show and says, "Thanks, guys. I had fun. I'm sure you'll mock it on your stupid podcast."
I'm not sensitive.
Everybody takes the red ass. Jeez, do you want us to remain neutral like Switzerland?
I can't remain neutral?
By the way, speaking of which, the big takeaway from yesterday's post-show, the real KNC, your scathing analysis of John Tomasi.
We're exposing liars, people who falsify stories. The irony there. I mean, anytime you rip Tomasi, it's like ripping me. Low-hanging Tomasi can just go next to low-hanging Curtis.
Fish in the barrel, yeah.
I know it's low-hanging fruit.
So powerful, who appears at 10:04 a.m. this morning as you and I were walking back to the office?
The one and only John Tomasi is waiting at the entrance of our office.
Mario Kart.
Looking to speak with Kirk and Jerry.
It was a scene straight out of Godfather. It was total kissing the ring.
You my friend, Godfather.
Smart move by John. He was wrong. And I think he realized that, and that's good.
Don Corleone Minihane seemed to be appeased. In a way, it's taking a meal away from a hungry Kirk. Whatever happened in that room that you and I don't know about.
Nope.
You know nothing.
They've come to some understanding.
Right, because Minihane right now is happy because he's got the guy in there groveling.
Tomasi offers an apology via text to me
I
and
thought
Jerry.
it was very magnanimous.
I believe about as far
of
as I
him.
can throw friggin' Tomasi's last dump.
But in the same breath, he doesn't have that piñata to knock around anymore.
You got in the crosshairs a bit today, did you not?
They brought up that I went to go see the Sunday skate.
We know his wife has left him.
That was my takeaway.
She took the dog. He's got nothing to do when he
Sunday
wakes up.
morning, he's probably up at 5:15 at the latest.
Looking out the window.
Staring at the ceiling, reaching over next to him, nobody's there. Has no friends, like real friends.
It was probably after the Rear Admiral.
Yeah, it was after the Rear Admiral drops, which were a big hit. I was 8 o'clock sharp. Rear's take on DVRs, which we've played on this podcast. You heard it here first.
Here's a veteran move. You must have a DVR, right? Of course. You pause the DVR when you got to go do a couple errands around the house or go to the bathroom, and then you come back and then you hit play, and then you can just fast forward through all the commercials for the rest of the duration of whatever you're watching.
True.
Then you could. I hate commercials.
I was thrilled, as I said, to meet Rear Admiral, and I think he was one of the big stars of today's show.
He was one of them. Today was a bizarre first hour from our standpoint behind the scenes. Whoa, was the hotline ringing.
He used to call me on the cell phone.
Early and often again.
Crazy. It really was. We're getting, the hotline literally is ringing at 6:03.
I can't say piss.
Absolutely. You can say golden shower. You can say piss. You can say, I heard golden shower 3,000 times yesterday on the radio.
He took a pee.
3,000 times.
We're getting texts left and right.
Then all of the people who got rid of me all left, and then I came back.
From management about words that are being said. All the while, we had a meeting scheduled that you and I did not even inform Kirk or Jerry about with the big boss.
I thought it was just you and I being called.
Well, we were told yesterday it was
in.
just you and I. It then evolved into all of us. Jobs are being on the line.
I'm saying things that I thought I could say. I've been saying for 20 years, by the way, and no one had a problem with it.
You can
But
still
now
say them. It's fine.
I can't say certain things.
We're getting just screamed at, and then Jerry and Kirk, while we're getting screamed at, we're being told to listen to what they're saying, so that's kind of hard to do.
Are you all right, Curtis? You look legitimately rattled this morning.
No, I'm doing great. Really enjoying the show today. And Jerry and Kirk are pissed at management, but we're sort of bearing the brunt of it.
He couldn't use the P word, so he used
What is this? What show is this? What are we doing? This is the friggin' highest rated show in the market. In the last weekly, the number 1 rated show in America in any day slot. And Ken Laird, the host of Saturday Skate, is now deciding
Sunday Skate.
Who decides who or who is not is on the air. Am I dreaming this?
And the words that we're being told to not use are being used, and it was just insane. I don't know. How did you react to it?
It was disruptive. It was scattered. With great success, you would think would come peacetime, but that's not the case. There's a lot of people that are uneasy.
Nobody in their car knows what you laughed. They don't know what I said. Jesus. And I didn't even swear.
Minihane said it best today. The more success we have, the more shit the show gets.
I want out of here.
At least I'm free.
We have a program director, Joey Zarbano, who I hate.
And I
hate with the passion of 10,000 suns.
Forget the man who died.
That's my favorite show ever.
Why are we here? What is the point of being here anymore?
I'll
Seriously.
gladly stand
When you have more
up.
and more success, you get more and more crap, right? That's what happens?
Yes.
Why?
Why is that? More to lose?
I would say more to lose. People don't want us talking as much Trump in politics, and they view the golden shower as a avenue.
But it's anti-Trump.
But it's politics.
It's making him look bad.
I don't know. I have a feeling that the content is what they don't want us discussing as much as the word.
From the dawn of radio, it's always been taboo, FCC-wise, to be describing sexual acts. I understand that. But the antenna are always up with this show. There are other shows that can get away with references in passing, not descriptive, but just the part of the narrative, part of the story, and it's not that big of a deal.
The whole thing, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. This morning, it was incredibly frustrating. We're trying to do our show. The phone's ringing off the hook. The texts are flying in. And
once Kirk gets wind of that, then he gets upset. He's banging equipment.
Is it 10 o'clock yet? Can we get out of here? Can we just let the guys in the midday show tackle the friggin' NBA draft? Is that so much to ask?
It's kind of good for the show. It's kind of not. It's all cleared up after the meeting.
Oh, yeah. The meeting worked, and we're all on the same team.
It's just too bad those are your teammates that you f***ed up out there. Of course, on the bright side, those are your teammates that you f***ed up out there.
Nobody's jobs are on the line until 6:03 tomorrow morning
Right.
when I'm getting phone calls that I can't be protected. So, unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
So that was hour one. Getting Kirk settled, getting Jerry settled, getting into a flow. I would say our best segment today, though, didn't come around until about 8:30 when we got into the Michael Floyd stuff.
You think Michael Floyd is driving around Foxborough?
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
You think Michael Floyd has a car?
Yes, it would not
A guy who
surprise
has no
me
license
at all. That's not impossible.
I do not think he's driving.
God, you're so naive. I think he has some issues.
He's going to choose to drive.
What do you think is
without
best?
a license?
Oh, Floyd wouldn't violate the law. No, I mean,
So you
what
think
world do you live in?
Excellent Kirk v. Jerry, and to dial it back to the Arcand, not criticism, just the observation, and I understand the position he's in. This is, again, one of those points where when there's great Kirk and Jerry debate going on, the third guy is, or gal in Trenny's case,
hoo-ha.
It's a fine line to walk, when to chime in, when to just sit back and let the carnage go. It probably was in Arcand's best interest to just sit back and watch.
The 8:30 segment was awesome.
Great.
I thought it was
Great.
passionate.
With great passion.
Yeah. Both sides, obvious disagreement. Arcand did a great job. Listening, Candyman, some credit.
So I don't get credit for
What
that.
was that?
thing.
Did a great job allowing those two to go at it. The callers were bringing some energy both sides, and I thought, the Volin piece was great. That spurred on a lot of conversation and really helped get things going in the 8 o'clock hour.
We had a Steve from Fall River that wasn't a Steve from Fall River dropping hypocrisy. No, it was Jerry that dropped the hypocrisy. Or was it Kirk?
Kirk.
Hypocrisy is just nauseating.
I agree with that, but I would say on this one, he's actually not being hypocritical.
Yeah, we had a new word invented on the show.
I would agree, Steve. How am I being hypocritical?
Headlines and the end of the 7 o'clock hour, Trump's musical acts at the inauguration. I enjoyed that.
Let me get one thing here. Excellent on-the-fly stuff by you, because I found that story. Jerry and I were talking during the break, and he had mentioned, some of the acts that aren't going to perform. So I did a quick search, and, the story pops up from yesterday, and it's got a list of all the performers that have said no to performing at Trump's inauguration.
Any of these artists who aren't going to be there upset you, Jerry? Andrea Bocelli?
So I bring it in thinking that, we'll do it later on, and we have about 25 seconds until we're back for the segment. And Kirk's like, oh, can we do it here? And he's like, yeah, let's do it here. And I run in, and I'm like, Ken, there's like 20 acts, and I start like reading them off to you, and it was flawlessly done by you.
I got to say, it was not flawless. I got enough of the acts in, but it's tough. Like, they move on from act to act. So, in other words, at one point I was playing the end of a Garth Brooks song when they were Talking Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
And Kiss said they would do it until Shannon Tweed stepped in Gene Simmons.
They transition so quick, it's hard to keep up.
Right. But any other circumstance with anybody else I've ever worked with, that would have been a non-starter. We wouldn't even played a single sound of anything because they would have had no time to prep, and it sounded great. If you were in your car, you wouldn't have realized that. I thought it was very well done.
I appreciate it.
You don't appreciate this treasure.
Kirk was unhappy with my Idina Menzel selection of Let
deep
It Go.
in the catalog.
Who's this?
It's Idina Menzel.
Going deep into her catalog, huh, Ken?
You don't go deep into the catalog. But, I would have thought with Idina Menzel, she doesn't have much of a catalog. You want to go there with one of her keystone songs, one of her quintessentials,
Well,
right?
but Jerry likes all the Eagles hits.
That's true. He does, especially around Christmas time.
I mean, if you go deep in the catalog with him, he gets pissed. He likes
maggot.
One other thing we should mention that we got back into today in the 9 o'clock hour, Bill Belichick's final presser of the week. We went back to the talking over the Bill Belichick press conference.
Bill, I don't know if you DVR the games, but there's been recently unearthed new functionality. You can fast forward during the commercials now, so you can actually watch more of these games. Have you heard of this?
Again, the mass of humanity that, for some reason, like, we would never carry the Belichick press conference if we didn't goof on it, right?
No.
Have you guys ever in the history of the show carried the press conference live?
No. I mean,
Like,
unless
we did-
it was
we-
like Deflategate or something major news-worthy, we would do it.
Like
but
in Pittsburgh, I will say we did this. Like, it was for 10 years working in Pittsburgh. When Tomlin spoke on Tuesday, at noon on Tuesday, we carried the Mike Tomlin press conference and just ran it in its boring entirety.
I did not.
So here in New England, nobody's used to carrying Bill, right? Listeners, I mean, like, but then they're given a little bit of Belichick, and all of a sudden it's their God-given right that they're supposed to be hearing the Belichick press conference unencumbered, and they get pissed when you're talking over it.
Hey, any chance you guys could let us listen to the press conference?
That's what I'm trying to do, Jim. Jesus.
It's awesome. I love it. I look forward to it. When we got the schedule this morning in the media times, and then Belichick was at 9:15, I told the guys, everybody's like, all right, we're doing it. And it was, it's always a good 15 minutes. But I thought today was great. He's still talking as we're returning from break, and you're playing it, which was a good call. And Kirk is thinking that it's just a cut.
What the hell? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm riveted.
Not good.
I would say
Is this live? Is he still going?
Still going.
Oh, this is actually live? Is it really? Oh, I thought you were playing a cut for me.
Well, I don't know if that was a mistake or not.
No, because then
it was
when we
so
told
bizarre.
him it was live, he's like, oh, he's still talking. The listeners love it, and when we get a caller or two that want to bang on it.
Hey, bang on this.
And sort of join the conversation, that always adds to it.
But when you guys do this,
primary targets, more so than earlier. Receivers.
Speaking of bang on this, Kirk tried to get back in as Bruce in Jersey to the Bomani Jones The Right Time program yesterday, but tapped out after 18 minutes.
By the way, real quick, Kevin from Boston tried calling again last night.
You did?
Yes, tried.
Why don't you tell me this?
Because I waited for like 15 minutes, and the show is so boring, I had to hang up. I couldn't even wait. Did you?
What kind of loyalty is that? What kind of dedication is that? Then passed the buck to low-hanging Laird and Curtis and said,
You know who should do it is one of the producers or something, another voice.
You think they're capable of that?
I do not.
I might do it today. So Dino and Miramar Lakes is what I'll go with.
Okay.
How should I play it? If I get on the air, do I say, no, I'm Chris Curtis, or do I stick with Dino and just ask Boston-related questions? What would you recommend?
If you say you're from the Kirk and Callahan show, he'll cut you off.
Right.
I think you should just play it as stay Dino. You're a relocated Bostonian, and have a hard-hitting question ready to go for him.
Do you honestly think that I would not have it if I had it? I mean, there's nothing
That's a
on
good
the website.
question. Would he have it if he had it?
I understand you've been banished in the mornings from your ESPN contacts a little bit.
Yeah, so we had this Adagio sound that Kirk found, or a tweet regarding Adagio sound, where I guess he said Clemson should have taken a knee on a PAT.
Take a bow!
The national championship game to bleed the clock. Only the best and brightest coach Boston College.
Yeah, we got the 40-year-old virgin.
So yesterday I'm searching for it, like a Vine for it, anywhere, nowhere. So I reach out to ESPN, their assignment desk, and they've always been very helpful to me because we helped them with our Tom Brady sound. They helped me with this.
Walk in, the music stops.
Can't help you.
Short-term ban, long-term ban?
I don't know. They said, WEI, I need to run this up the flagpole.
Oh! So the bridges have been, if not burned, they've been shaken.
They have been shaken. So Boston will not be able to hear a dumb Adagio cut. So they win again.
Boston being a trash city.
We had our Texans Minute to finish the show today. Some excellent work by Sean Salisbury, my favorite Casting Couch member ever.
Texans 34-27.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
Where are they getting 34 points?
34 points.
They haven't scored 30 points against anybody.
You watch this week.
BS. The Jimmies and the Joes. X's and O's matter, but the Jimmies and the Joes can execute a bad play if they're good.
I could hear him talking about the Jimmies and Joes for the rest of my life. And one drop you snuck in there was the...
Find me a guy who likes getting benched, and I'll show you a guy who's a loser.
Oh, man.
And you mock Sean Salisbury's appearance on the
You
station.
love him. You think he's above Tangway.
He's not above Tangway, but he is a character. He's entertaining. He provides great fodder.
You listened to a completely different show than I did that morning.
Well, he's so bad, he's good.
Winners play hard even when they're getting their ass kicked.
You got a gift from Jerry, from Maya?
Yes.
Show Kirk what I got you. I got the first baby gift for Maya.
Really?
Look. Tell me that
look at
thing's
that.
not
That's
solid
adorable.
gold.
Look at that. Isn't that nice?
It's a TB12 teddy bear.
That is not allowed in the Indian religion, obviously.
It was one of those freebie gifts that Jerry passed on,
but it is Tom Brady related, and for Jerry to give that to someone.
That's true. That's a good point.
Who's won MVP?
Brady.
Who's going to throw for 10,000 yards?
Brady.
I did blow him.
Yes. Hopefully the PJs will get here tomorrow in time for Jerry to wear Tom Brady's athletic
the PJs.
wear. So that's all coming up. And I should note, tomorrow with Mutt in, last night I heard Mutt doing some play-by-play during the Hot Stove Show.
I'm ready to do
I've
it.
just,
Here's the 2-2.
I've just declared that.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Pretty good.
I can do it.
I got a feeling the Hot Stove Show itself and Mutt's play-by-play could revisit tomorrow in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, Jerry was saying we didn't really get into the superb John Farrell interview on the Hot Stove Show, so that might be brought up. And
neither did Mutt, by the way.
That's right.
He was not a part of that interview.
That was like when I first started with DNC. Minihane wasn't allowed to join the interviews.
Yeah. Mutt and Kirk have a mutual understanding.
Do you know what the name of Kirk's podcast was when he was the third host on Dennis and Callahan and not part of interviews?
What About Me?
And Kirk in the What About Me? Is that the name of the podcast?
Enough about me.
Right.
Third Man Out.
Clever.
How clever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to talk to Mutt while Mutt was prepping for his show. I don't know how long that lasted.
Jerry says he will not listen to this podcast today. He only has time for one. Tucker Carlson comes on, so he's going to listen to Kirk's with John Ziegler, as we advise you to do as well. The Enough About Me that's up fresh today, but you and I press on because we're just we don't stop, Curtis, no matter what management says.
Courage. As long as they'll let us in the building, we'll do a podcast. Yep. And that could end today, could end at 2:30, could end tomorrow, who knows.
How'd the chicken parm
so good. I got leftovers. It was delicious. Not Stromboli, calzone.
Sorry.
I blew it.
I got actually some tweets from people saying, "What's your recipe?" yesterday.
Yeah, but then you gave it on the show, did you not?
Well, people aren't that wise.
We have people that are stupid.
Tomate sauce, first of all. It's Sicilian
Silvestro tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mutt said I was a hardo thing, saying I've been all over Italy. I was the one that brought it up.
You should have seen, speaking of hardo, you should have seen Mutt in action over at the New Balance gym yesterday. He had, do you know the Rocky scene in Rocky 4? You're not a movie guy, I know. But you've seen the Rocky movies.
I have.
So the training scene in Russia where Rocky's got like a log behind his back and he's like climbing up the snow and and the bald guy is grinding him. Mutt's in the middle of the gym. He's got the weight wrapped around the waist, doing the pull-ups and the chin-ups. I didn't see the gloves. That's a good call. I'm sure he did. It was definitely a hardo look at me move in the middle
or
of the
did
gym.
you just use the hairy knuckles as like a buffer?
So easy a caveman can do it?
Either way, it was impressive because I was doing my typical 4.5 on the treadmill jog for 20 minutes. So I was really grinding it.
You ever hang around the gymnasium?
Was he grunting?
Yeah, there were some grunts. There was some Monica Seles action going on there. It was outstanding.
Oh man, is he having like a midlife crisis? He looks jacked every time
he's
I
jacked.
see him.
He's pumped and jacked.
Dude, I've jacked it twice since I've been here.
Speaking of midlife crisis, we forgot about Jerry's motorcycle today.
Oh, scooter.
You know what I'm going to do next summer? I'm going to buy a scooter, a Vespa
in Maine.
I'm going to keep it up Maine, but I think I'm going to love it, and I'm going to take it everywhere.
Are you really?
Bottle of Jack in one hand.
I'll take it here.
Jerry and Kirk should rent Vespas in Houston and try it out.
Jerry on the cycle with that great hair from Dr. DiStefano just blowing in the breeze.
Oh, man.
With Mutt. That's a Geico commercial waiting to happen, with the hair on Mutt's knuckles blowing back.
Man.
Guys, I want tits up, hair back.
I find myself looking forward to Friday, not only because it's Friday, but because it's a Mutt Friday.
You're liking Mutt on Friday.
I love it.
Love it! Love it! Love it!
Because he listens every day. He can react to anything done during the week. Mm-hmm. And tomorrow, it just sort of relaxes. You can sense everybody's like, oh, we got Mutt tomorrow. It'll be a good show.
All right, should be a good one tomorrow with the Mutt Man, and we will see you tomorrow.
Take care.